Geraldo Rivera joins us around this time each day. Hello, Geraldo. You know the area well, as well. You're listening to Arwa. Your thoughts on where we are? I mean, J.D. Vance said today, he was confident this deal's going to last. How do you think things are really playing out?
Well, first, I have to say that I'm very glad that the vice president has gone to the region, along with Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. They must continue to keep America's presence known. They have to keep the pressure on. The vice president particularly was important to show that this is still a priority in the Trump administration, that the United States will not leave now that peace is tenuously in place, but rather will help supervise this next critical phase. There has to be peacemaking. There has to be security so the other projects can get going, so they can get fed, so they can, have medicine, so they can have some sense that they have, a future. But that without peace, none of that happens. We have to make the peace. I think that Egypt really has to step up to the plate. If Egypt is the world-class nation it claims, then now is the time to show it. Egypt controls the Rafah crossing, the southern crossing, Gaza. Egypt is the neighbor to Gaza. So Egypt, along with Turkey, I think must get this project going. The Gulf states have the money. I don't know if they necessarily have the troops. Turkey has a magnificent army. They can, deploy certain units of it. Indonesia is, I think, the largest Muslim nation. They have a very significant armed force also. But Egypt is the neighbor. Egypt has the expertise. Yeah. Egypt has the credibility when they choose to exercise it. And that whole southern part of Gaza. They're going to start there with Egypt keeping the peace, move gradually north, and the whole time you're getting Hamas locals, Gazan locals rather, to participate in the process. You have to have some kind of administration. You need a government. You need cops. You need to start the rebuilding. But it is a vast project, and it does hang by a thread. And we're lucky to have gotten this far. But we can't now claim victory and walk away from it, Connell.
Well, let's hope for the best there. I want to get a word in on Ukraine because I want to leave time, if we can, to talk about immigration. We've got some news there today as well, some of which we haven't even talked about on the show yet. But Ukraine, I wonder what you think's going on here because Rubio and Lavrov, I think, spoke on the phone but then decided not to meet in person. And now this whole meeting between Trump and Putin in Budapest is apparently not going to happen, at least not now. It's on hold. So you wonder if peace in Ukraine's on hold. What do you think's going on?
I don't know what happened. I am not party to it. I can offer the following scenario. Okay. Trump talks to Zelensky. They make a deal, tomahawks. Tomahawks or else, we say to Putin. Trump then talks to Putin, the Russian leader. They talk for hours. Trump comes back and says, well, maybe not on the tomahawks. Maybe we should withhold the tomahawks. I tell you what, I'll meet Putin. Trump will meet Putin in Hungary in a couple of weeks. It seemed as if Putin had talked Trump into a deal that bypassed Zelensky, into an arrangement that Putin put Zelensky down. Trump keeps saying how much Putin hates Zelensky. I think that what happened was Trump would then talk to his people. They recognized what was going on. They recognized Zelensky is the good guy. Putin is the bad guy. There's no reason for Putin and Trump to talk because they're not even on the same page. Russia is not in any way, shape, or form heading toward peace in Ukraine. Russia tried to lull Trump into a bad deal for Ukraine. Trump finally saw the light, pulled out, and said, no meeting in Hungary 2 weeks from now. Zelensky, we're going to give you what you need. I predict Zelensky will get what he needs. And that's the only way you're going to get Putin to do anything is to give him a sharp stick.
Yeah, yeah, hit him,
in the eye.
or you know that the tomahawks are could be flying his way. Seems to be a motivating factor. All right, we'll see. We'll see if what comes next on Trump's side on this. I mentioned immigration was big. A couple of things. We came on the air today with news out of Los Angeles. Was an agent shot actually out there, so we'll monitor that for updates. We were looking at the KTLA chopper, and then we had our reporter Jessica Cartalia here in New York covering a live raid that was happening in Tribeca. So we got news all over the place on the politics of this. Two Democrats, Jamie Raskin and Pramila Jayapal, have sent a letter to DHS and ICE, and they're looking for answers to what they say has been the unlawful detention of U.S. citizens during some of these enforcement operations. So, we'll see where this goes, but I know this is a topic that you've been talking a lot about. What do you make of some of these developments, particularly that letter?
First on the, if I may, the Los Angeles shooting of the ICE agent. As I understand it, they stopped a traffic stop driven, I guess, by an undocumented and illegal driver. The ICE agents claim that he tried to use, as they often do, that he tried to use his vehicle as a ramming device to threaten ICE agents. It was the ICE agents who opened fire. There's no evidence or no allegation even that the undocumented immigrant, that the illegal immigrant fired anything. It was the ICE agents shooting, and it was a ricochet from one of the ICE agents' rounds that hit the one ICE agent.
I'll read you the Marshal statement because I'm just seeing it for the first time. So you're right. So they say a deputy U.S. Marshal invoked in a line of duty shooting. They were attempting to assist in an arrest of a suspect wanted for illegal entry. Marshal sustained non-life-threatening injuries during an immigration enforcement operation. Deputy's condition currently listed as stable, and they're investigating right now. So that's all they're saying publicly about what you described.
All right. Well, I think that we have to be careful. They are spinners. They're fabulous spinners. But what happened in New York, and I was watching our correspondent there in the Lower East Side, which Connell is literally a stone's throw from my daughter's apartment. My pregnant daughter's apartment. I don't know if I should have said that. I don't know if there's one got married in the summertime. Anyway,
you always get,
it's very nerve-wracking.
You're always getting yourself in trouble on this show, Geraldo, and now here you go again. But it's usually your family and not something else. But anyway, yeah. So that
I'm sure the phone's ringing already.
There's only so much I can help you with. You got to help yourself. Come on.
And believe me, brother, I appreciate it. I really need it. I really
carry
need
on,
it.
Carry
on. To see the ICE agents to see them walking through my old hood is very disturbing to me. What happened here was in the New York situation. Traditionally, the migrant workers sell tchotchkes on the corner. There's a whole bunch of them that are just in the business. They sell "I Love New York" T-shirts and dolls and stuff of that sort. What happened was the ICE came into the area. One of the neighbors started yelling, "ICE, ICE, ICE!" And the ICE agents finally, I think, arrested the guy. Yeah. By that time, the merchants, the undocumented merchants, had fled, but it caused tremendous, tumult and turmoil in this neighborhood with all of this presence in an area where I don't think ICE is particularly popular, although it's not an area that has been violent at all. It's a very upscale, trendy restaurants and apartment buildings. But what's happening is, and more to your point now to the letter, it is inevitable when you have an undocumented immigrant comes to the United States, meets a citizen American woman, or the vice versa. They have families. The families, those children are all American citizens. So the only undocumented person is the husband or the spouse that came in illegally. Everybody else involved is citizens, but when ICE comes in and they round up the bunch of people, it is inevitable that a bunch of them are going to be American citizens. It's not that the ICE agents are mean or that they're singling out American citizens. It is an inevitability of this gigantic process, this grinding machine that's going after whole cloth all of the many millions of undocumented immigrants, they're not going after the worst of the worst. They're going after the people that they can catch. People like the merchants selling the tchotchkes that I was talking about, that our reporter, you know, is now at the aftermath of this incident. You know, I think that this whole operation, if people care about the soul of America, we have to make this process much more targeted, much more that it was sold to the American people to get vicious criminals, the worst of the worst, to get them off the streets, all that BS it turns out. We have to make that true. We have to make true that these officers, God bless them, are going after criminals, not just these traffic stops or these Home Depot parking lots or people offering, you know, day laborers going to their rendezvous spots and shopping centers across the country. We've got to just stop that. And ICE now is drunk on the hundreds of millions, billions of dollars that have been given on the big bad bill, budget
right.
bill. So, hundreds of millions, I'm sorry, hundreds of billions went to ICE, and they're on a hiring spree. They're hiring, you know, I'm not going to characterize who they're hiring, but they're hiring whoever they can get their hands on. This operation is so gigantic, so massive. It is, you know, inevitable that you're going to get stories like that family in the Northwest where they were, you know, 5 children held for months.
Right.
You know, citizen children. You know, when they investigated, what, you know, it's a mess.
I hear you, Geraldo.
The czar has to slow it down.
Got to run, my friend, but I hear you. The how is what we've been
Okay.
talking about, the how.
Okay.
And congrats, Grandpa, by the way. It's good to have you out there with
and
all
the
that.
who.
The who. And the who. And the who.
The who,
Yo,
too.
all points we've been talking about. I know you're passionate about it. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk again. Geraldo Rivera, The Daily Take.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.